Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and this is something I talk about regularly. This is probably a video I need to just redo every couple of months, and that is that no one talks about the basics because there's no money in selling the basics because the basics are easy. There's no complexity. There's no products tied to them. And what do I mean by that? Let me put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing, work on skilling up my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about it. All right, what do I mean by you can't sell the basics? Because the basics are that easy. Well, what in the hell are the basics? The most simple concepts that basic progressive overload is how you get big, that eating more food is how you get big, and eating less food and doing more activity is how you lose fat. And, it really is that simple. It is simple in practice, too, and I understand that we have advanced programming. I've even put out some advanced programming. But that's usually for serious athletes. Like my intermediate off-season athlete program, that's fairly complex. Not as complex as a lot of the shit other people put out. But does the average person really need that to get bigger and stronger? No. They can use even less complex programming than that. But a program like that might give them a 1 or 2% edge. But it's still free. But let's talk about what I mean by the basics. All right, someone says, hey, my biceps aren't growing. My biceps are stalled. They're struggling. There are people out there who want to sell them an advanced program for that. There's whole articles. Just some of that bodybuilding.com article I had throwing in silly-ass supersets and 60-second breaks and all this other nonsense to bring up their biceps. You know what? If your biceps aren't growing, focus on getting stronger on your weighted chin-ups. You get stronger on your weighted chin-ups and focus on getting better at dead hang chin-ups and get stronger at them, your biceps will probably start growing again. But Jason, that didn't work. My biceps aren't growing fast enough and I'm doing weighted chin-ups. I'm getting stronger on them. In fact, I've added 10 pounds on my 6-rep max. Okay, well, if that's not working, maybe you should add some extra curls. Because you know what? If a muscle isn't growing fast enough, you probably just need to work it a little harder. That's really all there is to it. Throw in an extra set or two of incline curls every week or straight bar curls, something that really, really works the bicep effectively. Throw in an extra set. Throw in an extra set every workout. You know what? That'll increase the tonnage. That'll increase the work that muscle's doing every single week. It'll probably start growing again. And then when your biceps grow from that, they'll probably get stronger, and you'll probably get stronger at those weighted chin-ups also, which will help everything grow. It'll help your back and all that other stuff grow. You know what? Just get stronger on those things. Biceps aren't growing, get stronger on weighted chin-ups. If they're still not growing fast enough, throw in a couple sets of extra curls every week of a really good curl, something that really hits the bicep hard, like an incline curl or something. Probably sort that right out. Or you should also try gaining some extra weight, because muscle has weight, and if you're not gaining a little bit of weight, you're probably not gaining any real size. Same thing. People will say things like, well, I'm struggling to gain weight. I'm struggling to eat enough food. And then people say, well, track your calories. Well, you don't even have to track calories, guys. Let's be honest here. Tons of top-level athletes out there gain muscle without tracking calories. Tons of people lose weight without tracking calories. Can it be a useful tool? Absolutely. Tracking calories can absolutely be a useful tool, but it isn't always necessary. You're not gaining weight, try eating some more food. Add some extra carbs every day. Add an extra half bowl of rice every day. Throw in an extra potato every day. But here's where we get into products. Well, people say, I just can't eat that much. Well, why can't you eat that much? What's going on? You're an under-eater. You're probably eating too much protein. Everyone sells protein. Everyone takes too much protein. Maybe cut out those 3 protein shakes you're throwing in between meals every day, trying to get that 6 servings of protein a day. Replace it with some extra carbs. You'll probably add another 200 calories to your food every day. You add 200 calories to your food by just replacing those high satiety foods like all those protein shakes, those fart powders that might actually be giving you diarrhea and costing you nutrients. That could be why some people aren't gaining weight. Replace that with some extra carbs. You'll probably start gaining a little bit of weight and muscle again if you've stalled. If you're still too full after that, I don't know, you might want to throw in even lower satiety foods like some fat. Replace some of your chicken every now and then with a fattier cut of steak. Throw in a spoon of peanut butter every day. That'll probably add 200 calories right there. Throw in an extra spoon of peanut butter every night before bed. You will probably slowly start gaining weight again. You'll slowly start gaining muscle. Same thing. People say, well, I'm struggling to lose weight. I'm eating clean. I'm eating this. I'm eating that. I just can't seem to lose weight. Well, the opposite approach. You're struggling with appetite, struggling to lose weight. Try adding some extra cardio. Add some extra activity. Because maybe you're eating the amount of food you're comfortable eating. Throw in some extra cardio, you'll start losing weight. Slowly, but you'll start losing weight. Help scale go down, body fat will go down. That's not enough, try increasing your protein. The exact opposite of what I just told people who are struggling to gain weight. Add more protein to your diet, it'll probably fill you up, you'll probably eat less calories. Scale will start going down. Well, you're already eating a lot of protein. You feel like you don't want to add any more. Well, add some extra vegetables in. Add some extra broccoli. Add an extra salad in every day. Start drinking more water with it. That'll fill you up better. You'll start losing weight again. Man, that's really simple, isn't it? No macro calculations involved. No apps being sold to track anything. No meal replacements. No protein powders being sold there. No specialized meal plans. If you want to gain weight, find a way to get more calories in, which if you're struggling to eat more calories while still eating clean food, you might be eating too much protein to add some extra carbs in. Can't eat any more, you're still struggling to gain weight, throw in a little extra fat so that you won't notice the food volume difference. Peanut butter and steak. Same thing, losing weight, struggling to lose weight, up the protein, up the vegetables, up the water. You'll probably eat less. Add an extra 30 minutes of mild cardio every day. Take an extra 30-minute walk every day. Try taking the stairs instead of the elevator at work on all your breaks or when you get home. If you're in an apartment and you live on the second or third floor, take stairs every time instead of the elevator. Little things like that will add up. You'll start losing weight because it's all just calories in, calories out. But you know what? You can't sell that. You can't market that. How in the hell do you put that in a book? How do you sell a meal plan or a protein powder or a meal replacement drink or a fat burner with stuff like that? When you just teach people basics of energy turnover, little minor things that add up, you can't sell that. You can't sell that. People want some advanced training program. Everyone wants to sell them some sort of power hypertrophy, daily undulating periodization program to where you have power days and hypertrophy days and you have to program all of that. Well, you know what? That's kind of useless for people who aren't trying to glean an extra 0.5% advantage in a competitive environment. Hey, I love that complex programming. But it all just comes down to progressive overload. People who just want to get a slow, steady gain of muscle mass and strength over the years. It's real simple. Like I've said before, you can easily just pick a few basic compound movements and then some isolation movements you enjoy doing. You could end up doing 5, 6, 7 big, heavy barbell movements or weighted body weight movements every week. Focus on doing however many sets a week you want with 5 reps. When you're strong enough to get to 6 rep sets, do 6 reps. When you're strong enough to get to 7, get to 7. When you get somewhere between 8 to 10 reps on all those big heavy exercises, add the weight and go back down to 5 reps. And just slowly work up. Add reps when you're strong enough to comfortably do them. If you do that on all of your bunch of big basic exercises, and when you get to 8 to 10 reps, you add weight and do 5 again and just do this month after month, anyone can reach their maximum size potential doing that, particularly if they're doing a bunch of big things like weighted chin-ups, bench presses, overhead presses, push presses, deadlifts, back squats, front squats, and then, a few isolation movements for anything that they feel is lagging. Maybe they want more bicep, they can throw some curls in. You want more side delt, throw some laterals in. It's not that difficult, guys. For people who aren't trying to compete, people who are not in a competitive environment, who are not trying to glean a 0.5% edge in a competitive environment, you should never, ever need to pay for a program. You should never need to pay for a complex program. It really is basic and simple. The only thing you might want to pay for is some form coaching, some basic technique on those exercises. All those basic exercises, as long as you just slowly get stronger on them, you will gain muscle, you will gain size, you will gain strength. Add weight and add reps when you are strong enough to comfortably do so. Month after month, year after year. There's no complexity to that. You don't need to buy programs. You don't need to buy meal plans. Seriously, who in the fuck buys a meal plan? Like, why would anyone buy a meal plan? You're going to pay someone to tell you what foods to eat every day? Seriously, guys, I understand that in a competitive environment, when people are prepping for something and they need to take their mind off of that and hand it over to a coach. They need a coach to do their thinking for them so that they don't second judge it and they can just focus on progress. I get that. But that's in a competitive environment. Most people don't need that. You should never need a meal plan just to gain weight or lose weight. And in fact, if it's not custom tailored and they're not weighing you in and assessing what you eat, and if a person doesn't know every single aspect of your entire life, your daily life, every single day and have an idea of how many calories you burn a day, how many times you take the stairs a day, I sure as fuck hope that you're not paying them for a meal plan, because how in the fuck do they know what your needs even are? You know, people pay for this stuff. Why? There's no need for it. You just have to find some basic strategies to increase food when you want to gain weight and gain muscle, and find a way to decrease food or increase physical activity when you want to lose fat. It isn't that complicated. This stuff only needs to be complicated when you are competing against other people who have coaches and have good, solid programming and meal plans and nutrition. But for people who are just trying to get 90% of the best possible results, you should never need to buy anything. You shouldn't need to buy any products or services. Information is free. And this stuff really isn't that difficult. What I just broke down is probably 80% of what most people need to know just to reach their fitness goals, if they just stick it out in the long term and they are consistent. But you know what? That's not very good for the fitness business now, is it? For people to just know the basics, that just slowly getting stronger on a bunch of basic exercises will put muscle on you, that will help you reach most of your physical goals, and just following some basic nutrition guidelines will actually help people reach their target body weights without buying products, without buying meal plans, without buying workouts. Yeah, that's not good for the industry at all. But you know what? This should have never been made into an industry. Fitness and health, just basic exercise and diet as an industry is fucking crazy. That's absolutely fucking crazy that that's actually even an industry. It really isn't that complex for the majority of people's goals. The only reason it's become complex is because it's been convoluted with a bunch of garbage and bullshit that doesn't need to be there, that's based upon business models. That's the only reason it's even become so complex, that people might even need to pay anyone to help them out, to help them sort through the confusion. But you know what? The fact of the matter is 50% of the time, the people you're paying don't really know what the fuck they're talking about anyways. It's a waste of money. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.